Hey faves, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey faves, as you can tell by the title of the video, why I cut my hair, that's what we're going to be talking about today. But I thought before we jump into the reasons why I cut my hair, perhaps let me take you on a journey of this hair since I was born. Okay, I don't really remember much about me being born. What I do remember though is that out of all my mom's children, I was probably the only one born without hair. Quite close to my sister though, but yeah, it was a little bit interesting when it came to me. I was practically born bald, but thank goodness to growth. I started growing hair, and that's when I think, like most kids in the 90s, our parents relaxed our hair. And if we didn't relax our hair, then we're in braids, straight up, straight back, benenbeti, mapondo. It was just the way it was growing up. And then I got to about grade 5 and I did what we call an S-curl and cut. I don't know what else it's called across the continent or in the world, but what it is, it's short curly hair, almost like a perm, but just a bit of a wet look. So it would look pretty dope on me. I really enjoyed the look. And then I carried on with it, I think up until I got to end of grade 6, and I think in grade 7 then I started growing my hair again and relaxing it. I relaxed my hair up until I got to grade 10. Then I did another chop, not as big as this one, but when I did that chop, my hair was short and I did vaslap dreadlocks. So what that is when you take a wet cloth and you almost create like a circular motion on your hair with a wet cloth, and that creates those miniature, very small dreadlocks. That's what I did in grade 10. I was a little bit skeptical about them because I wasn't too sure if they were really allowed, but I did them anyway. But I do think I come from a high school, Krugersdorp High School, they were strict about rules, but I don't think they were that strict about hair. But I could be corrected, I could be wrong. And then I left Krugersdorp High School, and I think that's where my natural hair journey actually began, because I went to a school called the African Leadership Academy, and I don't think it has somewhat to do with the fact that I was conscious about being in an institution that is Pan-African, but I also think it was just easier also to just maintain your natural hair because you had, services on campus that people could provide that kept your natural hair intact. We had Mr. Ruben's wife do our hair. We had a girl called Jojo. Jojo was also very talented. She was always fully booked because girl did all the hairstyles in the world, and she had brought all the hair pieces, like all the colors you can imagine. She brought them, and that was pretty dope. I then graduated from the African Leadership Academy, and I then decided I was going to do dreadlocks. I could have been influenced by the fact that my mom had dreadlocks. Then after 6 years, she chopped them off, and then she started again with dreadlocks. They were a little bit thicker this time, and she grew them for quite a while as well. I did mine for about 6 years. As you do know, in the beginning of dreadlocks, they don't necessarily look the way they look after 6 years. So I did a lot of braids, Afro kinkies, soft dread on top of the dreadlocks just to, allow them to grow peacefully without me getting impatient. And then I had dreadlocks for about 6 years. Really enjoyed them, colored them a lot, bleached, experimented quite a lot with them. Until I think I got really tired of them. So instead of cutting them fully, because chopping dreadlocks after 6 years is not necessarily easy. So I cut them into a bob, which I really liked. The bob was really cool. But I quickly got bored of the bob, and I think I was going through something in my life, and I decided I'm chopping everything. So I chopped my dreadlocks, did the big chop again, but not as big as this. Okay, cool. I had my natural hair, I could color it, and then it grew quite fast. I did braids, got bored, chopped it into a mohawk. And then I would do like curly hair, I would do braids. That was quite short-lived. And then I chopped my mohawk again. I started again with natural hair and went back into my natural hair journey. That lasted for about 2 years. And I think that that's where I started capturing my hair on my social media pages. So if you go on my Instagram page, my handle is at noni_kumalo. So that's my name. You'll see quite a number of different hairstyles. So as I grew my hair in those 2 years, I did quite a number of different braids. I had beads in my hair. I did different colors. I really enjoyed my 2 years of growing my afro. But then it started becoming difficult to maintain it. And I think everybody has their own story about natural hair. I know there are big debates about natural hair and whether we can maintain it or not, and how back in the day there weren't, the necessary products to ensure that your hair is great. And then now they are, but again, they're not necessarily very affordable as well. So there's a big debate around that. But I enjoyed my natural hair for 2 years, and then I decided I need a simpler, more manageable hairstyle. So I went from my natural hair to doing dreadlocks. This time around, because the reason why I also chopped my first dreads was because I found them to be quite thin. So the second time around, I wanted to have dreadlocks that were a little bit thicker, but not necessarily bongo dreads, but like somewhere in the middle. So what I do over those dreads, I'll do your faux locks, your goddess faux locks, I'll do your distressed locks. I did that for about 4 months, and then your girl got tired. Your girl got tired of hair, so what I then did was chop it. And this is where we got to this level right here. There is no big story about the reason why I chopped my hair. I chopped my hair simply because I am tired. I hate going to the salon. I hate sitting for long hours on a chair. I hate having to think about my next hairstyle. So before I did the big chop, I asked my partner if I should chop my hair, Piggy, and he's very anti me chopping my hair because he is a big fan of dreadlocks. When we met during the stage where I was growing my dreadlocks underneath different hairstyles. So he had no idea that I had dreadlocks. So when I revealed it to him, he was excited. He was like, yes! He's obsessed with dreadlock chicks. Like, if you have dreadlocks, you can probably snatch my man away from me. So he wasn't very happy about me doing the big chop, but he's my man, so he'll be strong. I get it. And then I asked my sister what I should do. She's 17. And she said, YOLO, hair grows back. So I thought, she's right. If I want to if I want to grow my hair back, I can. And my dad is the one that always chops my hair. So I went to him and I said, Papa, I'm ready to chop my hair. I went to him with my dreads at the time, and he was like, okay, but you have to chop your dreads off. So I then took a pair of scissors, and it was so difficult doing that first chop of the dreadlock. And you have to do it right here in front, because there's no turning back once you chop that dreadlock. And once I did that, then my dad chopped my hair for me. I do remember though, when he did chop my hair, when he did chop my hair, he couldn't find the different sizes of his clipping machine. So I had to work with the raw machine. So when he started cutting, I realized it was getting deeper and deeper, and I wasn't too sure about going this short, but I mean, it was already there. And once you cut, it's gone. So he then chopped it off, and I got this. I was very nervous about this in the beginning, especially because I started realizing some of the flaws with some of the trends that we follow. So if you see my hair, it's starting to grow back. However, there are little patches sometimes in between my hairline, and that has to do with doing edges, because I did edges quite a lot. So I can actually see where I did them. Yeah, not cute. And then when I was doing dreadlocks, when I chopped it off, I realized that I had patches of the dreads. So where the dreadlocks had gaps, that's where it was dark, and obviously where the dread was much lighter. So I had little patches on my head. So that needed to fade away until I could record this video and just show you how happy I really am. This is probably the best decision I've ever made. I didn't realize that I would feel so liberated. And liberated, not even like a mandala liberated, more like taking a shower is the best thing that could ever happen to me. I love taking a shower. It's so refreshing. I don't have to think about my hair. I hate thinking about hair. I'm a makeup girl, so I will waste all the time in the world doing my makeup. But don't tell me to go to a salon for long hours. Don't tell me to stand in a queue to do my hair. Don't tell me to do hair for 9 hours, please. I'm really tired of that. But I'm a girl. I could change my mind tomorrow and decide to do something completely different. But for now, I don't think I'm going to change my mind anytime soon. And if I do feel like having long hair, hey, I can always buy a wig. I really can. But for now, I'm super happy. I'm super excited. This is it. So there you have it. That's the reason why I cut my hair. I was simply tired. If you are like me and you chopped your hair for that reason or anything else, let me know on the comment section down below. Let me know what you enjoy about natural hair. But as for that, that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I cannot wait to dish you out more and more content. But for now, just remember, ke le rata rati.